Meghan Markle is in a jam. She's twerking because nothing's working, desperately seeking the limelight in the forlorn hope that making headlines will somehow make her money. And as she posts that tacky 4-year-old video of her excruciating mum and dad dancing with not-so-groovy Harry, is that a real baby bump? Or some kind of pillow strapped on just for the cameras? You decide. But either way, it sure looks weird. Wrong shape, strikingly huge. You'd think she was expecting sextuplets, and strangely low slung. Meanwhile, the jigger-jig Duke might as well have worn a sandwich board emblazoned with, "I'm a major league jerk." Never mind, at least the gruesome twosome's quest for privacy is going well. The kind of faux, pretend quest that involves invading their own privacy with monotonous regularity and guaranteed vulgarity. Of course, when the media do it, it's an outrage, an utter disgrace, a reason to furiously fire off yet another fatuous lawsuit. But when California's king and queen of hypocrisy do it, it's charming, it's fun, and most importantly, it's monetizable. So as bemused royal watchers, commentators and columnists scratch their heads wondering why on earth the cavorting couple posted proof that they're a preposterous pair of prats, here's the answer: cash. Follow the money. Meg's lousy lifestyle site has crashed, burned and sunk into a sea of chaos. Her second podcast series was even more disastrous than the first. And whether or not Netflix makes the mistake of inflicting on an unsuspecting dwindling audience more indigestible helpings of Ms. Markle's TV cooking dross with Love Meghan, no one cares, which all adds up to a financial void that her ladyship is going to have to fill. An income crisis for a social mountaineering actress who married a British prince she naively presumed would be a billionaire, which, as the man who will never be king, Harry, very much isn't. So, while it's alarmingly clear that the dim Duchess doesn't have a whole lot going on, this much she knows. If she makes a noise, makes the papers and makes people talk about her, something will maybe crop up. That's the fame game, and she's playing it for all she's worth. Here's me twerking, give me a job. But back to her dud podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, and a surprise extra episode none of us wanted. It starts with Meghan characteristically trying to boast about herself, but her special guest is having none of it, proving that the A-list is way above her pay grade. For the final Dullsville instalment, the hostess with the leastest couldn't get a proper star, but woohoo, did manage to land a proper star's mother. Wow. Step forward, Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, the genuinely successful owner of a thriving hair product business, trashing Meghan's instant sellout of her as-ever foodstuffs and her subsequent failure to restock as annoying. The redoubtable Ms. Knowles asks her, "What do you do next?" Good question. What Meg seems to have done next is announce that she's shelving her entire enterprise to try to, and I quote, "work out what as ever could be." And then suddenly apparently reverse that by posting on Instagram that her Scam Jam, honey, tea, cookie mix and edible flowers are all on sale again. Apart from an ongoing car crash shambles, what exactly is going on here? Is, as she made crystal clear in recent interviews, her Montecito Majesty's as-ever clown show on semi-permanent hold with a view to potentially returning next year to flog clothes? Or is it finished completely? Or is it magically back up and running? Confusing doesn't even begin to cover it. Whatever the truth, this is no way to run a circus. Does the dithering Duchess even have the faintest idea what the hell she's doing? Damned if I do. Meanwhile, here she is again promoting herself on social media with yet more teasing pictures of bits of her children. A moody black and white photo of a theatrically devoted mother cuddling her birthday girl daughter. And, oh my God, you can actually see at least a third of Lilibet's face, including both eyes. How very daring. I can understand how Mrs. Sussex and that odd little husband of hers are keen to protect their kids. But the ludicrous lengths they go to are frankly comical. Once again, though, it's all about their twisted version of privacy. The type of privacy the ridiculous Sussexes demand on their own terms, which isn't really privacy at all. It's a sales technique, selling their family by the dollar. I hope that makes Meghan and Harry happy. Well, Samara, even by Meghan's standards, this has been one hell of a week. And when you see her, you see her here, you see her there, she's making headlines here, she's on Instagram there. Do you know what this is? It's exactly what I said. Everything has crashed and burned. It's all gone wrong for her. So she's trying to make the papers, to dominate the headlines so that everybody talks about her in the desperate hope that something crops up. Because that is, as I said, the way the fame game works. You get talked about, you get written about, and somebody says, let's get that Meghan Markle to do something. That's what she's hoping. But I think it's all over for her. I really do.
Yeah, you're bang on. I mean, I just have one question. Is Meghan Markle clinically insane? Because this week...
Yes, thank you. That's the end of the show.
Thank you very much indeed.
This week has been an absolute shambles. It's absolutely mad that she obviously knows that there are lots of theories about her kids, the pregnancies, what's been going on.
There they are, twerking away, twerking away.
Oh, come on.
She had a high-risk pregnancy. That's what dominated the first episode of that show. She had 2 high-risk pregnancies. I wouldn't be twerking if I was about to go into labour with a high-risk pregnancy. And also, if you really look at that bump, there's something not quite right about it. I don't know what she's feeding us this information. It's not even like we're asking for it or digging for it. She's put it on her own Instagram.
We watched it when it came out yesterday. We're filming this the day after she released that onto an unsuspecting world. And the moment we saw that last night, apart from laughing at that tosser Harry, we all said, that isn't a real baby bump. It's too huge, it's too low, and it's the wrong shape. Now, you're the expert, Andrew. That's not real,
an expert,
is it?
but I'm a lawyer, not a doctor. But I have to say, I haven't seen anything like that. It is quite extraordinary. I quite like Harry's moves. I thought they were quite entertaining. But you're right, Meghan's bump, I mean, Confessions of a Female Flounder with Meghan Mackerel, we can call it.
Stop saying flounder, that's a fish.
But Meghan Mackerel, see what I did there? We can do that.
Yeah.
We love it. But you're right about the fame game, though. It's all about people speaking about it. It's the famous Oscar Wilde thing. The worst thing about, or the second worst thing is about people speaking about you, people not speaking about you.
Yes, exactly.
So she's very
right.
good on that sort of basis.
Good quote. And also, as they say in show business, don't worry about what they say about you as long as they spell your name right. That's what she's doing. Yeah. That's why there has been this demonstrable, massive increase in her publicity activity. She's all over the place now. She can't shut up. We've got this extra edition of Confessions of a Flounder, a female flounder. It's actually Confessions of a Female Flounder, that we didn't know about. Yes. She announced that. She gave interviews, and now this strange video of them twerking 4 years ago, allegedly. And, of course, the picture of Lilibet in black and white, so you can't see quite how ginger she is. Those kids are seriously ginger. But, man, that was a world record amount of the face.
I mean, come on. No wonder people can't take this woman seriously, even though she demands it. I mean, the only reason they left the royal family was, oh, I want privacy, I want privacy. All you've given us is a constant stream of whatever you've been doing, Meghan. I mean, the fact that we've really received photos of the children's faces, the last minutes before Lilibet was born, inside the room. I mean, Princess Kate would never, ever put that out. It's just not something they would do. And I just hate to think of the Queen watching that video. It's quite lucky that, honestly, she's already in the grave, because if she was to see that, I think that would create some sort of heart spasm.
Absolutely.
That video is disgraceful.
Well, it's tacky, to say the least. As I said in my monologue, all the commentators, the royal columnists, and everything, like scratching up. Well, why has she done this? I can't understand it. Because she's desperate to get talked about in the forlorn hope that something will crop up.
Absolutely, and as you rightly said, we know why she did it. We absolutely know why she did it. What's interesting, who actually filmed it? Do you think they just set up the camera themselves and pressed play and work, and then self-edited and so on and so forth?
So, before we move on, I want to ask the audience, let us know in your messages that you're always kind enough to send us. Thousands every week, we appreciate it. Let us know what you think about that baby bump. because she's got form. There have been stories before that she's strapped on a pretend bump for pictures.
Yes.
And maybe you want to assess Harry's dancing. What I would say about Harry is he's a better dancer than her, but that's not saying much. That's setting the bar low. Now we're going to move on to a What Just Happened world exclusive. This is extraordinary. It really is. Passed on to me by a friend. Now, Meghan's As Ever brand,
yes.
As we've just said, under something of a cloud right now. God knows what's going on with it. It's got a logo, a palm tree logo, if we can have a look at that. There it is.
There you go.
Now, what my friend said, have a look at the logo for the Nazis' Desert Army, the Africa Corps. Have a look at this. Look at that. Now, put them together. Put them together.
My goodness.
Next to each other. And look at that. That is extraordinary. I've got the printout of it here. You can see it there.
Yeah, we got
so
these.
there you go.
That's concerning.
Now, what I would say, this is... So no one has reported on this before. That's the Adolf Hitler's notorious Desert Army logo, the badge for the evil Africa Corps. And that is the badge and the logo for As Ever. Look at that. Look at that. The similarities are uncanny. Now, what I would say about this, Samara, is I'm certainly there are many names I could call Meghan. We could all call Meghan, but Nazi isn't one of them. Let's be fair. Meghan is not a Nazi. She's many things, but she's not a Nazi. But what this reveals to me is, once again, what a sloppy businesswoman she is. Why didn't she research this? When you research a logo, you look for other logos, you look around the panorama of business. Who else has done this? What else could it be aligned with? And they should have spotted that we don't want a logo that looks like the Africa Corps Nazis.
I mean, we know for a fact that As Ever was thrown together so last minute because of the shambolic descent of American Riviera Orchard, but another failed business of Meghan's, just to go with the graveyard of As Ever. But I mean, this does say not thought through, because she knows how much scrutiny As Ever is going to come under, regardless of how how it's deceived or how it's perceived. But they should have checked this. This is lazy. This is lazy. I mean, she's got a 19-person team around her. What's going on? I mean, you're the PR expert.
I absolutely am, thank you. I will make sure that happens again. The reality is this, as Kev so poignantly points out, is that she's got history in terms of this. We had the Mallorcan...
town,
you remember? Absolutely. They had the problem with intellectual property infringement there and the allegations of that. You've obviously got the history.
I'm just laughing about the idea of intellectual property, that the Nazis sue Meghan for nicking their logo. You stole our logo!
It's toxic. It's toxic.
But you're right. So there was this Mallorcan town, which I actually know rather well.
Yeah,
it's a lovely place. The mayor there says he's still thinking of suing her
didn't have enough money is what
over
he
this.
said,
And now we get this. And this is what Tina Brown, the former editor of Vanity Fair, close friend of Princess Diana, said about Meghan, that she's sloppy. She doesn't research. She doesn't investigate. She just sort of lurches into things without doing it properly. And this is a serious example of that. You don't want to be compared to the Nazis.
And what they're going to do, I predict what they're going to do now is they're going to dig out that picture of Harry with his swastika on and so on and so forth. And I, as a futurist, I can tell you, I can guarantee somebody is just thinking about that, having watched this programme.
Yeah. What is it about these two and the Nazis?
Yes.
The thing is, though, even if I was on Meghan's team and I identified this as a problem, I probably wouldn't bring it to her, because I know she's a shouter, she's a screamer, she's a dictator in high heels. I wouldn't be even bringing that to my boss, because I know that she'd shoot it down.
If she shot this down, if she said, no, we'll go with this, never mind the Nazis, then she's more of a fool than I thought.
Yes, never mind the Nazis.
You don't want your business to be compared to the Nazis.
She's an idiot surrounded by idiots.
And you're right, they should have been ultra cautious. You check it again. And now with the internet, it's so easy. You can do Google reverse searches and things like that. It's not that tricky.
Let's talk about, before we move on, let's talk about her money.
Yes.
Because, this business has failed, whatever you think.
Yes.
I mean, I really couldn't work out what was going on over the last week, because this time last week she gave an interview saying, well, you're going to close down As Ever to try and work out what it could be.
Accent.
And, and we're all going, well, shouldn't you work out what your business could be
Yes.
before you launch it? Just a thought. So she announces that. And then the next thing you know, she confirms it to Beyonce's mum, Tina Knowles.
Yes.
Great guest.
Great guest.
Well done. That's A-list. Yeah, we couldn't get Beyonce, but she was kind enough to send her fridge. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
An incubator.
But anyway, she said to Tina Knowles,
Yes.
I'm going to go into recess and maybe come back and do clothes and all that kind of thing. And then the day after, just apropos of nothing, suddenly on Instagram, there's all that, you know, the various as ever products posted again. It's on sale again.
Yes.
What? What is going on?
It's FOMO. It's the fear of missing out. So you talk about scarcity. Whenever there's a lockdown, people worry about toilet paper or essentials. You say it's run out.
Yeah.
Scarcity is the best driving factor.
But you've then got to restock at some point.
Of course.
And she hasn't done that.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that you haven't been able to buy any as ever products since the first round. We managed to get some cookie dough and some
Very good
jam, as you recall. But it was really hard to get hold of. And people go about worldwide sales. It was never available internationally.
Yeah.
So there goes most of your market. It was only available in America. So it was very haphazard, never got going. The Confessions of a Female Flounder, of course, has floundered and is now over. That won't be back. Nobody watched it because it was toweringly tedious. As ever, Meghan, forget about it. That's not going to make her any money. So she's not making any money at all. What she thought when she married Harry was that he, as a royal prince, must be a billionaire. He's barely a multi-millionaire. He hasn't got much money, and they have to make some money. She has to make some money, and I don't think she knows how to now.
I know, and I really agree with that. And I did see reports that there was some rumours of jealousy between her and Jeff Bezos' new wife or fiance.
He doesn't have any financial problems.
Well, yeah, exactly, Lauren Sanchez, because you can kind of see her parading around in Paris with all her gals with not a care in the world. And I think that is what Meghan envisioned her life to be. Yeah. And when she entered the royal family, she realised, wait, it's a life of service. Oh, yeah, helping other people. Yeah. That's a foreign concept to me. So I really do think money will be the end-all problem, as you've said, Kevin.
She's quietly obsessed with money. I mean, she's made it clear that she wants to be a billionaire.
Yes.
And I think that that obsession is fueled by her disappointment with the lack of wealth of her husband, Lauren Sanchez. That's marrying well. That's marrying well. Meghan has discovered to her horror that financially, and probably in many other ways as well, she hasn't married that well.
Yeah, and it's not just about money, it's also about status, as you rightly point out. So you're turning around and saying, the label billionaire just sounds so good. Doesn't mean you're going to buy more stuff. There's only so many holidays, so many houses, so many yachts you can have. You need to work on that sort of principle. It's about status.
I agree, but I think status is more important in Britain. In America, money is the status. And so I think that it's a big issue for her. She's going to have to keep up with her Montecito pals while she's got mounting legal bills and a failed business.
Yeah, and I think that that dynamic, what you're talking about, being an American, money is much more important to her than the average Brit. But Harry has no understanding of money at all, because those royals, the dim royals, and most of them aren't that bright. Money, they're not fabulously wealthy, but they never have to think about money their entire life. They live in palaces, they're driven around in chauffeur-driven Rolls Royces, etc. They fly in private jets. They live a luxury lifestyle, but they're not fabulously wealthy. Meghan wrongly assumed that they are.
Yes.
No, you're absolutely right. They're property rich and cash poor, so often of them. You look at some of the royal families.
Remember this, King Charles isn't even a billionaire.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I mean, you can
that was
see
quite good, that accent.
You can see how Harry frets about money, though. I mean, this whole royal protection thing is all about the fact that he doesn't want to pay.
Yeah, well, for someone with not much money, he didn't have to waste a lot on that ludicrous lawsuit demanding armed police protection when he comes to Britain. He spaffed at least $1.5 million on that, maybe 2 million.
Yeah.
So, you know what they say, Andrew, a fool and his money are soon parted.
I think that's the real reason he was knocking on people's doors for donations, I think, on that sort of basis. So, yeah.
No, I think he was practicing for the job he's going to have to take soon to make some money. Deliveroo driver. Right, let's watch a bad ad, shall we?
Is your current mate right for you? What are your secret romantic desires?
The answers to these burning questions are in your date of birth, and this special woman knows how to find them. She's love astrologer Christine Kane. Just call this number, enter your birth date with your touch-tone phone, and she'll give you a reading that will uncover your hidden romantic self. $1.95 per minute, under 18 get permission for entertainment only. Discover your own personal love secrets. Call now.
I'm a big fan of her husband, Harry, and also her American cousin, Citizen.
Oh, very good.
So there you are. That was a bad ad. Let's go to some real ads. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back. This is part 2 of this latest brilliant edition of What Just Happened. And it's time for this.
3, 2, 1. Yay! It worked.
Yes, it's the big moment where we bring you what we consider are the biggest stories of the week. And I want to tell the audience around the world before we get to our first one, while you still may be buying that crock of crap about the BBC being a very brilliant broadcaster that you can trust, fantastic, oh, marvellous, the pride of the UK, the pride of Britain. Here in Britain, we are increasingly ashamed of our state broadcaster because they've become a biased anti-Israel broadcaster. Their news coverage of the Gaza conflict has been a national scandal. Essentially, they're pro-Palestine fanatics. And they stand accused of being anti-Semitic. This is a big discussion here in this country. You know the way it is. Left-wingers tend to be anti-Semitic. They don't like Jews. Well, I give you the BBC. Now, this came to a head, didn't it, this week in the White House when Caroline Leavitt, the brilliant press secretary for Donald Trump, exposed the BBC for what it is. Have a look at this.
Some in the media, we don't take the word of Hamas with total truth. We like to look into it when they speak, unlike the BBC, who had multiple headlines. They wrote, Israeli tank kills 26, Israeli tank kills 21, Israeli gunfire kills 31, Red Cross says 21 people were killed in an aid incident, and then, oh wait, they had to correct and take down their entire story, saying we reviewed the footage and couldn't find any evidence of anything. Oh. Okay, so we're going to look into reports before we confirm them from this podium or before we take action, and I suggest that journalists who actually care about truth do the same.
She's the most impressive woman in the entire world.
They say the first female president is going to be a conservative, and I've got my money on that.
I love
She's only 27. So.
I love Caroline Leavitt. At 27 years old.
Yeah.
She's going to go places, I'll tell you. Possible future president.
Oh, without a doubt.
If not, why not, America? Vote that woman in. And she's quite right. The BBC's reporting of the Gaza conflict since October the 7th has been an absolute disgrace. And I say that without fear of contradiction. It's just true. A recent investigation, which was a report compiled by 1,500 lawyers, found that the BBC had got it wrong about Gaza about something like 3,000 times. They get it wrong constantly, but they never get it wrong in favour of Israel. They always get it wrong in favour of Gaza and Palestine. So the BBC is a problem, isn't it, Samara?
Yeah, I mean, there's an inherent bias that you can see, and you can see that when they do just report these false things without even checking. That's how you can see the bias, because they just automatically assume that Israel is involved in this without even verifying it. And it's hilarious to watch BBC Verify last night. Actually, I looked back on it when I got home. and to see them refute Caroline Leavitt's claims and get into some sort of weird tiff with the press secretary of the White House.
Let's talk about BBC Verify. This is this preposterous department, 60 people working in it, that they call their fact-checking department, that this is, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So their response to what Caroline Leavitt said. Yeah. So this story was that the BBC reported that, 50 people have been killed by Israeli tanks trying to get to aid, food. Then they downgraded that to about 30, then about 15, and then they said, actually it's nobody. We can't verify this at all. And they justified this. They said, we were reporting a running news story. No. And these stories change as you go. No. What they were doing was completely going on Hamas statistics, which is what the BBC does. And in fact, around the world, this is a shocking fact. Israel puts out statistics all the time. They've worked out that about 5% of media outlets use Israeli statistics. 95 use Hamas. I wouldn't trust Hamas as far as I could throw them. So Caroline Leavitt is right, and the BBC trying to justify this is a disgrace.
Yeah, it's totally disgraceful.
That's not the way you do a story. You don't go, Hamas has told us 60, right. No, they now say 30. Oh, fair enough. Oh, no, it's 50. Oh, no, it's none at all. That's not how you cover a story. You, if I can say this, you verify the facts, then you report.
Absolutely. It was one of the biggest scandals of our time. Everybody rushes to be first as opposed to rushing to be accurate. And I always say trust comes in on foot and leaves on horseback. And trust in certain parts of the media is at an all-time low because of this. And they used to say that if you didn't read the newspaper, you're ill-informed. And if you read it, you're misinformed.
Well, if you think the BBC is left-wing, you should try our channel over here, Channel 4 News, which is virtually communist. Here is redoubtable Israeli spokesman David Menzer confronting the host of Channel 4 News, Christian Guru Murphy.
Sometimes, Christian, you actually advocate for Hamas, and I must say it's bizarre.
No, that's offensive, David. You really shouldn't say things like that.
It is offensive to Israel.
It's just attacking the media.
It is offensive to Israel.
It's a talking point, and it just shows you're avoiding the question.
No, because it's double standards, Christian. That's what you're guilty of. Different rules apply to Israel. Is it because we're Jewish?
That's offensive to say that. Offensive to say that. Well, stop being so pro-Palestine and anti-Israel then, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious how we as the taxpayer, I mean, at Channel 4, but the BBC, we're paying £174.50 a year. I just want to stress to the American and international audience, we're actually paying for this fake news to be spread out to people. And in terms of Krishna, I mean, he can, quite frankly, be put up for what he's been saying. I'm glad to see him confronted because he has been peddling a lot of lies. And yeah, it's not to be misunderestimated, the influence that he has. He's been turning people against Israel's plight, and he's been actually spreading a lot of disinformation. So I'm glad to see David Menzer, he's actually a friend of our show, put him to task.
I've got two words for all these people who say, Israel, the genocide, it's awful. Yes, of course it's horrible what's going on in Gaza. But I have two words to explain it. October the 7th. That's three words, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
But October 7th, there's two words. Seriously, that's why this is going on. Israel is not doing anything it didn't say it was going to do. And if Hamas handed over the remaining hostages, then maybe this horror would stop. But they won't. So Israel continues. And what the left wing of our media don't like is Israel is on the point of total victory.
Caroline Leavitt is absolutely right. We do need to question everything because the reality is we live in such a diseased information age.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And make sure actually you get your news from different sources.
Yeah, well, let's move on. Just very quickly, the big events again in Washington. Elon Musk rounded on Donald Trump this week because Donald Trump keeps unveiling and boasting about his big, beautiful bill. Well, his big, beautiful bill is big. It's a $3.8 trillion spending plan, which will plunge America into $2.2 trillion worth of debt. And Elon Musk is saying, my Doge campaign to save money. What was the point? People saying, well, Donald Trump, it's Congress that are putting this through.
Yes.
It's not really Donald Trump. Well, you know, I love Donald Trump. You know, we're big fans of Donald Trump on this show, but you can't say Donald Trump's got nothing to do with this when he calls it his big, beautiful bill. It's too big, isn't it, Samara?
I don't think so, actually. I think that it's just big enough. I think that America is
$2.2 trillion worth of debt?
Well,
it does cancel out all of Elon Musk's savings.
Come on, Samara.
What's the point of Doge then?
The thing that Elon
What was the point of Doge?
Well, Doge was to cut government spending.
And now they're going to spend 3.8. Now they're going to spend 3.8 trillion
Doge was meant to cut stuff like giving people sex transitions in Ghana.
Yeah, but it's done all that. But what is the
Trump is actually spending on things that are relevant.
No,
we're not sure what he's spending on yet.
I'm a big proponent of government is not business. They are not the same thing. Governments need to spend money for their citizens. That's why we pay tax in the first place.
What we need,
and it's not to save money. It's not a profit-making enterprise. That's not what the government is.
That's the way Trump sees it.
It's both, though, isn't it? And people are not stupid in the general electorate are not stupid. You turn around, measures cost money. The reason you're saving certain things, Department of Government Efficiency, was exactly where can we make savings? But if you spend it all unnecessarily, and that's the question, it's going to cause issues. So you need to put both sides up, and you're looking at that sort of
and
side.
Musk is furious. He does say that everything he's done in the last 6 months has been pointless because of this huge, big, beautiful bill. I mean, I can see your point, but I can also see Elon Musk's point.
Yeah.
It's just very interesting that the love affair between Donald Trump and his first buddy is well and truly over. Let's go to a bad ad.
Ah, the magical world of dreams. Incredible fantasies dance through our heads. Women's private dreams. Call and listen to us describe our real and unreal dreams. Some are romantic and warm. Others are exciting and playful. From the romantic to the bizarre, they're our very own personal women's private dreams. Call this number and listen in. $1.95 a minute. Call now. We've got special dreams we'd like to share.
They're not that private, are they? Because they're on the phone.
They're writhing on the phone.
Do you lie around on the phone having special private women's dreams?
I lie around with my phone asleep with my phone on my face because I've been listening to some podcast.
So those are $1,900. $1,900. You want to talk about $3.8 trillion? That'll be basically the price of a single call. Let's go to some real ads. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back to What Just Happened. This is part 3, and part 3 means one thing: viewers' questions, where Samara asks me questions on your behalf. What do you got, Samara?
A new report in The Telegraph says that white Brits will be a minority by 2063. What do you think?
I think they will be. Next. No, this is a shocking report that says that within 40 years, that white British people here in Britain, traditional white Brits, if you like, will be a minority of this population. And by the end of the century, the statistics forecast that only a third of people in Britain will be white. So what we're talking about here is a cultural dilution, which a lot of people are very alarmed about. Are you? Well, you're not even British, are you? So.
I know. I'm part of the problem, aren't I?
Yeah. What are you doing here? Why don't you go back to Australia?
All right. Nice to know you. No, I think it's a big problem because it is a change in how Britain is, how Britain sees itself, and how Britain is seen by the rest of the world. I think that it's a long time coming. I don't think anyone is surprised by this report, unfortunately.
Not at all. It was actually predicted in the song, wasn't it? There's going to be coffee-coloured people by the score. You might remember that song, where they totally talk about...
That doesn't matter.
No, but this is turning around on that sort of basis. So that's exactly what the report is saying. It's not saying it's bad, but that's the song. And they talked, where did that from?
What's it going to do with the song?
Oh, no, because it was predicted.
What is this song?
Have you not heard the song? There'll be coffee-coloured people by the score. I'd like to teach you well to sing.
No, I haven't heard that.
Yes, you haven't. It
sounds like a real winner.
It's going to be good. I'll look it up. It's called The Melting Pot, and that's...
The melting pot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they are. We are talking about a melting pot, aren't we? And, people fear in America as well, of course. That's why Donald Trump has cracked down on immigration. We've still got it going on at a rate of knots. About 1 million people, foreigners, come to this country legally to live every year. About 400,000 or 500,000 of them leave after a year, but every year, our population legally goes up by about 600,000, 700,000, and we are bursting at the seams. But we have whole areas now that are not recognisable in terms of what Britain used to be.
Well, there's very limited assimilation. That's one thing. I've noticed in Australia, we're very strict about assimilation. If you kind of don't assimilate into the Australian culture, then you can get out. But we're a little bit more soft touch here in Britain. It's sort of, oh, we'll respect you, keep to yourself. We'll assimilate to you. However you want to live, we'll pander to that. Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem. And then the second thing is also people feeling like second-class citizens within their own country. I think there is a lot of that feeling and emotion, and it shouldn't be discounted.
I don't think you're talking about coffee. What the hell?
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
I don't think it's about skin colour.
No.
I don't think it's actually about skin colour, because a lot of people in this country who aren't white are very, very British. They're born here.
Yeah.
They are steeped in British culture. You know, the look of Britain, traditional Britain, has changed. So that's okay. But we do have a load of people coming in who form their own communities, and what they want to do is make traditional British culture subordinate to theirs. So we've got a lot of cultural tension in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. What I was going to say, it's a song by Blue Mink. You can look it up yourself as well. What we need is a great big melting pot.
Oh, that one.
There we go.
Do you know, big enough to take the world.
Big enough.
And all the world it's got. Keep it stirring for 100 years or more and turn out coffee-coloured people by the score. It was a positive message from Blue Mink.
Well, thank you very, very much for that very, very obscure reference.
It's not obscure.
Got another question. That's massively obscure. Blue Mink. What was that in about like 1962 or
Before
something?
music was invented.
1969.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Right, have you got any old songs you want to talk about?
Well,
1932?
I'm half Indian, half... I was meant to be coffee coloured. I think my mum was kind of annoyed that I wasn't a bit more Indian looking. But anyway. The head of the BBC has said that he wants to increase the licence fee. Would you be willing to pay more?
Well, yeah, I mean, what he wants to do, I don't want to pay anything. I think we should scrap the BBC licence fee. Again, for our viewers abroad, we have this bizarre system where almost compulsorily, by law, we have to pay £170 a year to our state broadcaster, the BBC. If you want to watch telly, you've got to pay that. And people who don't pay it get fined. And there's some people still go to prison for it. So if any of you around the world are in any doubt that Britain is a seriously weird country, we send people to prison if they don't pay their licence to watch TV. Unbelievable. So we've got to get rid of that. And the BBC has got to start paying for itself. We've got to stop giving them any money at all, make some programmes we want to watch, and you can either run a subscription service, pay for it if you want, like Netflix or Prime, Amazon Prime or anything like that, Disney, or they can take advertising because we're sick to death of paying for this crap broadcasting.
The trouble is, and we talked about this earlier, we live in a diseased information age. There has never been a more urgent need for an independent, that's the key, public broadcaster. If you're dependent on a commercial side, dependent on sponsorship, and that you've always got your paymaster or mistress working on that sort of basis, it needs to be looked at on that premise.
Got a third question, but we don't really have time,
great.
but I'm going to quickly reveal it to you and give you the answer. The Scandinavian doom goblin, Greta Thunberg, is sailing to Gaza. The question is, do you think she can stop the war? No. Let's go to a bad ad.
The truth about street girls. Shocking real stories from society's outcasts.
I'm here, I'm going to stay here, this is how I make my money.
Call now and listen to how they got there and what they do.
For survival in the streets, I've had to do anything.
Street girls, all real, all true.
The streets is tough, but so am I.
Street Girls, exclusive interviews. 1-900-535-5400. $1 a minute. Adults only, please.
That's an advert. Well, on that bombshell, let's go to a break. What just happened?
He's mad as hell. It's Kevin O'Sullivan.
Welcome back, part 4 of What Just Happened, which is the very special complaints department. This is where we sift through some of the thousands of messages you've sent us and respond. So, first up, Andrew, what have you got?
I love your show, Kevin, says Darlene7417. Your panel guests are fab. Glad you got rid of that moan bag Simon Pro Ginger Nuts he was.
Thank you, Darlene. Yes, Simon London is no more. I might bring him back one week just to surprise you and punish you. Samara.
As an Australian woman, I am proud of you. You look amazing, and lovely outfits, intelligent comments, sense of humour. The trio of you are a delight. I love you guys. And you expose the two grifters. Thanks. That's got 51 likes. Thank you.
Who is that?
That's Anna Wetton.
Anna Wetton. She's Australian. Is she in Australia?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Right. OK. Before we get to the next complaint, I've got a gift. This is from Dee in the British town, a seaside town of Southend. And it's a present. Anyway, I think she's knitted this for me. So... It's for my dog, apparently.
Aww.
And it's in the colour. Oh, look at that! So it's in the colours of my football team, which is Fulham. So my soccer team. It's got a little collar on it. She sent me a card. This is great, Dee. Thank you.
Well done.
She sent me a little letter. Hang on.
That's very nicely made.
Beautifully made.
Dee, well, it's a very long letter. I'll read it later, Dee. But listen, that is good. That is damn fine knitting. And my dog Chasbo will love this. Will love this.
Fantastic.
He used to be called Chaz.
Yes.
But we changed it to Chasbo because it rhymes with Asbo, as in antisocial behaviour order. He's not particularly well behaved. Thank you very much, Dee. That's fantastic. It's amazing. Such a man to take that over to my wife.
I love you so much.
I've got a coat for the dog in the colours of my football team.
Great stuff.
Anyway, next up, what do you got, Samara?
Oh, Shelby said, I so look forward to this show. I listen every Saturday morning while I'm driving to work. Oh, Shelby, that's so sweet.
Excellent. Thank you, Shelby. Andrew?
It's a super dress, Samara. Please wear it. Again.
By the way, isn't Samara looking sensational again?
Stunning.
I don't want to be sexist about this.
Very strict orders.
I'm female, not gay, and 85 from RSA.
Not gay. Female, not 5 and 80. Not gay and 85.
Just my type.
There you go.
Got a phone number for her?
Actually, no, it's there. I'll give it to you afterwards.
Yeah, please, honestly, I'm quite desperate.
Next.
Georgie has said, again, love Samara and all your guests, but a great Australian export. You're lucky to have her over there. Cheers. And that's got 110 likes. What the hell?
Listen.
Well done.
These are nice messages. Because
really
Chuck,
nice.
our producer, tends to put through loads that are really nasty. So, hey, look at that head swelling. What have you got?
They've got great shows, says Nadine Carey, 3767. I do love the energy that Andrew has brought to the show. The lively banter, laugh, and mutual respect among the three of you is so fun and really refreshing to watch. Always cheers me up. By the way, I love how Samara doesn't wear her dress properly and was not offended by cleavage jokes. I'm tired of people having to toe the line.
Did we make cleavage jokes? I hope not. I did say it was very nice of Samara to come along, both of her. But apart from that, by the way, we've forgotten your trick again. We'll have to do one next week.
It felt like siblings joking around and nothing more. Good on you, Samara, for being able to take a joke, is what they say.
Right, it's time for a bad ad.
It's time for you to take the 3-Minute Sports Challenge and win up to $1,000. Just call this number and use your push-button phone to answer as many sports trivia questions as you can in 3 minutes. Pick your favorite category: baseball, basketball, or football. The day's top scorer gets $100. The weekly champion gets $1,000. Call now and test your sports trivia skill. Just 95 cents per minute. It's fun, and you can win up to $1,000.
Maybe you could win that 1950s telephone
Hey.
as well. We wouldn't do very well over here because there's no soccer category, but good luck to everyone who gives that a go. And good luck to you, Andrew. Thank you so much for another fantastic contribution to this fantastic programme, and to the brilliant Samara Gill. We will be back at the same time, same place, right here next week. You better be there. Bye.